In today's economy, more people than ever are looking to buy and sell businesses. But how do you do it? Welcome to the Deal Board, presented by Transworld Business Advisors. Straight talk about real deals and real people. Listen to stories, interviews, and expert advice to help your business sale, merger, or acquisition process. Now, here are your business exit experts, Andy and Jessica.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. And we're here at our annual, well, hopefully it'll be annual, our Thanksgiving show. And we're going to talk about some businesses that really cash in this time of year. This is a very important time of year for many retail businesses, but really a lot of businesses that you might be surprised about, wholesale businesses. And Jessica, you got one that you're going to talk about, a gym business.
Yeah, gym business, wine and art studio. We have a pie making company, which obviously does very well around Thanksgiving, right? But, we were talking that the holidays have really morphed into a big business bump for a lot of different businesses with Black Friday, and now you have Cyber Monday. And there's just a lot of businesses that cash in and capitalize during this time of year.
Yeah, I mean, even the charities are chiming in, right? So you have Giving Tuesday now, and then you have the Small Business Saturday. So everybody's trying to co-op one of the days over this, long holiday weekend. A lot of people take off Friday as well. So you got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and now, even with Cyber Monday, you got a 5-day stretch. And I think it's blasphemy, but some people are opening up on Thanksgiving or opening up at midnight. So people are but that's how important this holiday is to a lot of businesses.
Yeah. I mean, some of the businesses we're talking to today, like one of the businesses acquires 60% of their new customers this coming weekend, and others will see a 30 or 40% bump in their business. It's a really, really important time for them as business owners to capitalize on this income and this profit.
Yeah, I mean, and it's really, so if you're thinking about selling your business or you're even looking at buying a business, you have to understand the seasonality of that business. And so if you're looking to sell, our tip is always, you got to make more money, right? So you really got to focus in, especially on these critical days when your business needs to make money. And we've seen it where like it rains for the whole weekend, or I'm sure up in some parts of the country, it'll snow, which will really put a damper on that day. And it really hurts.
Yeah. Yeah. It can hurt. Sometimes it can also help, right? Especially if you're an online business, people just sit around and shop, right? But, I think it's important to understand as a seller of how the seasonality affects your business, but also if you're looking to purchase a business that has seasonal issues, and most businesses do have seasonality, of understanding what that seasonality is and timing the acquisition right.
Yeah, we see that. I mean, we see that even when we're selling restaurants here in South Florida, we definitely have a season. It's usually around Thanksgiving through Easter. So it's the time when the weather gets nice down here in South Florida. It's when, quote unquote, the snowbirds come from Canada and New York and all the other places in the country. It's actually a time where a lot of Fort Lauderdale residents that retreat to the mountains of North Carolina come back. So it gets really busy down here. The restaurants, you can't get a seat at a restaurant on Friday and Saturday night, and they cash in. So when we sell a business, say in July or August, people are really hesitant to take over that business. For the next few months. So we do things like have the notes start in December or November. It's interest only for a few months. I mean, there's a lot of kind of concessions and deal making we have to get, to make sure that, we always want to do good deals for good people. And so we want to make sure that the buyers can survive maybe taking over in, downtime.
Yeah, yeah, and on the other side too, of maybe timing training appropriately as a buyer and during the acquisition, because it's much different to run a business during the slow time versus the busiest time of year, and there's different things you have to do as an owner. So making sure, like attached to that seller note, sometimes having access to the seller after the transaction occurs to get their advice on how to handle these big upswings. But I think we've got some great stories today and some good advice from some brokers and owners across the country, and really interesting businesses that we get to learn about how they take advantage of this holiday season to increase the value of their business and ultimately how much money they're making.
Yeah, we have a few listings of the week this week. So I think that's great because, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to educate people on the process of buying a business, how much a business is worth. We're getting some great feedback out there in the world. Some of you have requested different subjects to be covered, so keep doing that. Go to the deal board on our website. You could find the link on any of the podcasting pages from the different services. So come to our page and email us and tell us what you want to hear.
Yeah. Yeah, I know we've gotten some great feedback on the valuation stuff, and we'll definitely incorporate more of that into these podcasts. But, we love to hear from the listeners. So before we kick it off, Andy, what are you thankful for this season?
Well, you're always thankful for, family and health and those kind of things as well. But I'm always taken aback by the amount of talented people that join Transworld. And I'll talk about Transworld for a second. We have over 500 associates now worldwide, and the talent level that has come to Transworld, and the basically camaraderie and the willingness to work together to pool all of our resources to again help people sell their businesses, which historically is an illiquid asset. So I'm just really thankful for all the people that make our lives easier and make things go here at Transworld. And so what are you thankful for?
Yeah, I mean, really similar things. I mean, like you said, always thankful for family and friends and health and Sailor, my dog, of course. But, I'm really thankful and blessed that I kind of stumbled into this career, and being an entrepreneur at heart and helping small business owners through these transactions is really fulfilling. And I'm really grateful to have found this as a career, and really found Transworld as a home, and found another family just within the Transworld reps and the owners across the country and across the world.
Agreed. I am very thankful for you and Al for joining Transworld and representing us so well in the Rocky Mountain region. And, again, everybody that's joined Transworld has been great. And I'm thankful to all the listeners. And, we're both thankful to all the buyers and sellers out there in the world.
Yes, yes. Well, without further ado, let's kick it off and hear from some of our holiday-focused businesses.
Great.
Transworld Business Advisors is the world's largest business brokerage and mergers and acquisitions firm, with over 500 brokers in nearly 200 offices worldwide. Transworld's team handles thousands of business sales every year. To be connected with a qualified business broker or learn more about the buying and selling process, visit tworld.com/the deal board or call 888-719-9098. Well, welcome back, everybody. And as we said, today we're talking about businesses that make a lot of their revenue, or an increased amount of their revenue, during the holiday season or for holiday sales. And right now I have with me Aaron Fox from one of our Boston offices, and he has such a listing that he wants to talk about. So Aaron, why don't you introduce yourself and talk a little bit about this business that you're representing for sale?
Sure. Thanks, Jessica. So I'm Aaron Fox. I'm the managing broker here at the Transworld North Boston office. And as we come into the season, it's always fun to talk about some of these listings that just have a huge boost in sales and a lot of excitement around what's going to happen to the revenue as they come into the upcoming year. So this is one of those businesses that you always hear about. It's what do you get my family for the holidays? We want to get them something fun. So this is a gym membership that they use to jumpstart that for getting new members. And typically, as they come into this season, this Black Friday promotions and different aspects around their holiday promotions are really set them up for the upcoming year.
All right, that's really interesting. I mean, you hear a lot about seasonality with gym businesses, but typically that happens in January. So why did they decide to run their sales on Black Friday, and how has that benefited them from kind of easing that competition that comes into with New Year's resolutions and everything?
Their goal with trying to run their promotions a little earlier was they wanted to get ahead of the competition and get people thinking about it so that they weren't waiting for those New Year's resolutions. They were opening up a market also to all of the people that didn't know what to get, a friend, family member, a loved one, etc., for the holidays. And in doing this, they found a very interesting model that they could capture this revenue stream, and it opened it up to the untapped market, that it wasn't just a typical gym membership that people were buying for themselves, but they were bringing new members with them.
That's great. It's super smart and really good to get ahead of the curve from the competition. So when you look at the financials though, how big of a boost is this in November? Is November their biggest month? Is it a giant increase or what does that look like?
Well, I think everyone who has ever had a gym membership knows that you typically go for a few months and then you start to fade out and you start to see see the decline in your very own attendance and your commitment to it. So a lot of times they'll end up with a sharp drop off. So they found that this promotion accounted for about 62% of their new membership enrollment as they came into the new year.
Wow, that's significant. That's really significant. So, I mean, when you're looking to sell this business now, what kind of considerations do you have to tell buyers to take in coming into a business where, 62% of the new members are coming from this Black Friday promotion?
Well, my hope is in the discussions that they realize it's an opportunity because a lot of the reason that it was so concentrated was the fact that the owner was really heavily marketing during this period of time and not during the rest of the year. So I hope they see that as an opportunity, but their considerations coming into it is they know exactly what they're looking like for first quarter.
Right. So yeah, I guess there could be a lot of opportunity because if the current owner is throwing all his proverbial eggs in one basket with this promotion, you could try other promotions in January or maybe kick off the summer and boost some revenue around then as well. But I mean, even so, knowing that you have a good marketing program that's proven and works and delivers new members every year, it's got to be a valuable asset just in of itself.
Absolutely.
So if people want to learn more about this listing, I know we just brought it on the market, so this is kind of like an inside look for our podcast listeners. But if they want to learn more about this listing, Aaron, where can they find you or reach out to you?
Sure, they can reach out to us. We all love our T-World emails. Mine's afox@tworld.com. And they can find this right on the Transworld website at tworld.com.
Well, thank you, Aaron, so much for joining me today and telling us a little bit about this holiday business, and have a happy holiday season.
Thank you, Jessica, and you as well.
Hey, Andy, you know what time I think it is? I think it's time to talk about our deal of the week.
Deal of the week.
All right, welcome back, everybody. And our deal of the week this week is a liquor store that has some of these seasonality issues we've been talking about related to the holiday rush. And I have with me Al Fialkovich from our Denver office. And Al, why don't you just introduce yourself a little bit and tell us about this deal that recently closed?
Great. Thank you, Jessica. This is Al Fialkovich here, the Denver team. So this was a great deal. It was a top 15 liquor store in the state of Colorado, had over 12 million in revenue, over $1 million plus in net earnings every year, and had been in business for longer than 10 years.
So what makes this industry, or even this business specifically, subject to seasonality?
It's a great question, but it's pretty easy to answer. People drink a lot more during the holidays, and they have a lot more parties, and it's typically around a 25% boost is what we see in terms of revenue. And then January is the slowest month because everyone has their quote unquote New Year's resolutions of never drinking again.
Very, very true. And I know we've been subject to that in our past life too, when we owned a wine store. So if you're a business owner, or maybe how did this business owner more specifically handle those seasonality issues? And was there any knowledge transfer of what the buyer needed to do to prepare for this boost in business during the holiday season?
Sure, that the owner had really good data analytics. So he was able to predict when he needed to buy more inventory and also when he needed to staff up.
Okay, great. And I'm sure there's some budgeting issues that go into there too, reducing some expenses during the slow season, stuff like that. So ultimately, you were able to sell this deal fairly recently. So tell us about how you found the buyer, and then ultimately what everybody wants to know, the numbers, what did it sell for, how was the deal structured, all that good stuff.
Sure, the buyer was looking at another project, and then we put them on this deal. The deal sold for around $3.8 million plus inventory. Inventory on deals like this is reimbursed dollar for dollar since it's perpetually changing. The buyer put 20% down through an SBA loan. We did a 10% seller note. We actually did 2 seller notes because one needed to be on full standby to match the duration of the bank debt, and then the other could be paid automatically. So it was a really good deal. It was the buyer and seller were both very happy.
Great. Sounds like a good deal for good people, and also good learning lessons related to some of these businesses that we're exploring that have a boost in revenue during the holidays. So Al, thank you so much for coming back on the show and sharing your deal.
No problem. Happy holidays.
Welcome back, everybody. And we have Darrow Graham joining us from our Texas office again. He's been on the show a couple times now. So welcome back, Darrow, and thanks for joining us again.
Glad to be back. Good to hear from you, Jessica.
Yeah. So you have a listing that kind of fits into our theme for today of businesses that experience a pop or increase in revenue during the holiday season. So tell us a little bit about this listing that you have and how they have that pop in business.
Yeah, so this is a breakfast and lunch restaurant that's been around since 1995. They've got a really solid employee base and customer base, been going there for years and years, and they sell homemade pies. And during the holiday season, especially Thanksgiving and Christmas, there's a huge increase in volume from like 300 to 400 pies over that time period. So they have people that come in that normally eat there, will buy 30, 40 pies at a time and take them out to their customers.
Wow, that's a lot of pies.
Yeah.
And is this just during Thanksgiving, or does it kind of continue through the entire holiday season through New Year's?
It sounds like it's really more that it starts in Thanksgiving and then it just continues on through the holiday season through Christmas.
Great. And you said, we were talking earlier, you said you don't know exactly how much of a boost in business it is, but it's very significant to their business. Do they acquire new customers through this too, or is it just additional revenue with current customers?
I think it's really traditional with current customers. They've been around for so long and everybody knows them, not only for the quality of their food, but these homemade pies are outstanding. So they have salespeople that come in there, eat, and they buy a bunch and they take them out to their customers and hand them out during the holidays.
Well, Sam, then looking at selling this company, what would be important for a buyer to know about this boost in business? Would it be the recipes or, ordering any type of materials ahead of this big increase?
They actually outsource these pies to another company that makes them, but they have them in their restaurant. And this particular restaurant is just run like a well-oiled machine. Their employees, some have been there for 15 and 20 years at a time, so they know what they're doing. It's very much a semi-absentee business.
Wow. Well, it sounds like a great restaurant, and it is for sale right now, right? So tell us a little bit about the sale metrics, what it's listed for, how much money they make, all that good stuff.
Yeah, so we've got it listed for $1.3 million. There's actually real estate involved. The volume on it was around 1.2 million last year, and their SE is around 206. About a 2.5 times earnings. We listed a little bit high in the market, but we've already had some interest from a strategic buyer out of Oklahoma that they own like 50 restaurants, all breakfast and lunch, and we know we're in range. So we've tested the market a little bit on the pricing.
Yeah, well, with the solid employee base and the customer base, I guess, you can really see a reason for that higher multiple. And I know you can't disclose the exact location. Is it in North Dallas? Is that about the approximate area?
Yeah, it's really kind of a northeast Tarrant County, which is closer to Fort Worth, but it's in a high growth area. There's a tremendous amount of population growth and businesses that are popping up everywhere around the restaurant, plus of the fact that they do have a long-standing track record of quality food, a lot of it made from scratch, and employees that have been there long-term. So that's why we pushed the multiple up a little bit.
Great. So if anybody a listener wants to contact you to learn a bit more about this business or any of the other ones that you've listed for sale, how would be the best way for them to get in touch?
The best way to contact me is either through email at dgraham@tworld.com, or they can give me a call on my cell at 214-729-2033.
Great. And as always, you can always access all of our listings at tworld.com, and we have a great search tool there. But Darrow, thank you so much for joining the show again today and sharing this listing that you have. I think it's really interesting, all these different businesses that get a boost during the holiday season. And, now we see with this restaurant, it can even happen in the restaurant industry as well.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Hey, Jessica, you know what time it is?
Money time?
Almost. It's time for listing of the week.
Hey, and we're back. And Wow, all this Thanksgiving talk is making me hungry. And what's Thanksgiving without some rolls and some really good bread? And we're here to talk about the listing of the week with Tom Milana. Welcome back, Tom.
Thank you, Andy. Good to be here once again. And yeah, this holiday season's making everybody hungry. We just listed a Wholesale Bakery here in South Florida. It's been around for over 40 years, specializing in Italian bread, rolls, pastries. They even make cakes. Really fabulous company.
Hey, it sounds like a really good deal. So tell me about the financials. Tell me about the price, what the down payment is.
Yeah, the business historically is doing about $5 million a year in revenue. That's $5 million with a big number 5 on the front there. Of the $5 million, the business nets about $425,000. We do have the business pre-qualified through Bank United, one of our partners, and with as little as 15% down, a qualified buyer can buy this business and generate that type of income.
Wow, that sounds like great financing. So tell me what the price is.
Price is $1.5 million, and again, it's throwing off $425,000. And a buyer would only need $230,000 to get in on this. There's approximately 50 employees, tons of assets, and lots of great taste in food.
That sounds like a really good deal, and I love businesses that have been around for a long time. 40 years is a long time, lots of goodwill. So it sounds like a great listing of the week. Thanks for coming in, Tom.
Thank you, Andy. Great to be here.
Welcome back. Today, we're really talking about businesses that experience a seasonality or a spike during the holiday season, whether because that's an industry thing, or in today's case, it's choice on behalf of the business owner. And for one of our listings of the week this week, we have Alex Dvorak with us from our Denver office to tell us a little bit about one of those types of listings. So Alex, say hi to the listeners, introduce yourself, and tell us a little bit about the company you're representing for sale.
Thanks, Jess. My name is Alex Dvorak. I'm a business broker here at our Denver office. And I want to tell you guys about this wine art studio that we currently have for sale. There's 2 locations, a larger location and a smaller location. The asking price for the larger location is $199,000 and the smaller location is $99,000. The business has been in business for 7 years, and the current owners are hoping to retire and move out of state.
Awesome. So you had mentioned to me in a previous conversation that they get a large part of their revenue, or at least a big boost in November, right around the holidays. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so if you look at the past 3 years, November has always been their biggest revenue month. The reason for this is during Black Friday, they have a in-store sale that's been done really well for them in the past. So what it is they get there and they're open from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. in the store, and they offer a buy one, get one free gift certificate with a 3-year expiration date. They have a very established customer base that turns out for this event every year, and that's what makes it one of their best months.
So that's great. And I think like sometimes it's really good for business and good for a big boost in the business to have sales like that. It also can be challenging too. Have you experienced any challenges with this deal, or is this just something you have to explain to every buyer that this is a really important sale that happens every year?
I think when the buyers look at the profits of the business on a monthly basis, I think it just makes sense to continue this tradition. At this point, the customers are expecting this and they show up for it. And it really does boost the business. You know, it's a wine art studio, and if you fill the seats, people are going to purchase other things while they're there. So everyone I've talked to has been really on board with this sale and plans to continue it in the future.
That's awesome. And a really good way to leverage not a national holiday, but Black Friday is almost a national holiday, right? So tell us a little bit more about the numbers of the business. You said combined, the 2 locations can be acquired for about $300,000. What about the revenue and the current SDE?
Yeah, so the revenue combined at the 2 locations is about $700,000. The bottom line, the sales discretionary earning combined is going to be around $130,000.
Okay, awesome. Well, if anybody wants to learn more about the business, how do they get in contact with you?
Feel free to call me at 720-526-0528 or shoot me an email at alex@tworlddenver.com.
And as always, you can always check out our listings at tworld.com, where this wine and art studio is as well. Alex, thank you so much for joining us today and telling us a little bit more about this business.
Thanks, Jess.
Thanks for tuning into our show today. If you like the podcast, don't forget to subscribe through your favorite podcasting app and leave us a review. If you have questions or suggestions for the show, visit us at tworld/thedealboard or email us at thedealboard@tworld.com.